What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here at Gotham Dream Cars in Teaneck, New Jersey. And what's so weird about that? Well, I'm supposed to be on my way to Geneva, but the Geneva Motor Show was just canceled.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 90th edition of the International Motor Show will not take place. The authorities have finally come to this decision. This comes as a preventive measure in response to the coronavirus epidemic raging in Europe and now in Switzerland, and legitimated by today's Federal Council injunction to cancel any event gathering more than 1,000 people until March the 15th. We therefore regret to announce that the Geneva International Motor Show 2020 is now cancelled.
That's a big deal. Like, you don't think it sounds like a big deal. It's like, whatever, it's a car show. It's probably the #1 car show in the world as far as product launches. So now you've got all these manufacturers scrambling to figure out, well, how are we going to launch this new car? We just spent tons of money. The economic repercussions of this is astounding. And I'm going to start this off by saying I'm not a doctor, right? So take my medical advice very lightly. But I'm also a pretty rational person, and this is all a result of the coronavirus, right? The coronavirus started in Wuhan, China. I don't follow the news because they love to sensationalize everything. To me, it's like the flu, right? Think of the flu as something that it's pretty easy to get, it's pretty easy to transmit to somebody else, and if the wrong person gets it, they can die, right? So not good, right? But the flu is something we don't tiptoe around scared about, right? There's no immunity from the flu. There is no vaccine for the flu. There's a flu shot you can get, but it doesn't prevent the flu. But if you get it, it'll make it less severe. That's like the job save thing. Yeah, we saved a lot of jobs. These people didn't get fired. Come on. At the end of the day, this is not something that should cause global panic, right? It's a cold. There's people out there like, I'm quarantined, I've got the coronavirus, but it's not really a big deal. If you give me the choice between eating sushi, which I don't eat sushi, right? Not a sushi guy. If you said like you have to either eat a plate of sushi or drink a bottle of coronavirus, bottoms up, buddy. Like, I'll take that coronavirus any day of the week. And what happens is when it gets sensationalized and everyone's like in a panic that they're going to get, okay, I can't, you went to the airport? Like, come on. Like, you go live your life. It's not a big deal. But the Geneva Motor Show, I understand sort of in mainland China, you're trying to prevent everybody from spreading it so that 8 out of 10 people have the disease. That's one thing. But to go to like a global convention that is in Switzerland of all places, where there isn't a giant outbreak, and the reason they do this is to minimize crowds, like minimize a lot of people getting together in the same place. You run into a situation where now plenty of brands are out plenty of money. And I don't even know if this is something, this could be like the act of God clause in the contracts or in the insurance policies. They're like, sorry, we're not responsible for that. So all these companies have to now, A, pay for these booths that they're not using at the show. And I haven't been to the Geneva Auto Show. Me, I love Switzerland. So when Pininfarina said they were going to send me out to check out the new car and give me some private time with it, I was sort of excited. And now, fast forward 24 hours, guess what? The Geneva Motor Show is canceled. And I'm here saying like, ooh, that would have been fun. It would have been fun. And now you got all these companies that are trying to figure out how am I going to launch my new Kuiper car? How am I going to launch my new variant of the Huracan? The answer is, who knows? And that's a big bummer. Maybe they're going to push it off to the next auto show, but maybe the entire auto show season gets canceled. Geneva is one of the earlier ones in the year, but it's also it's pretty much a mainstay as far as where the global product launches go. So when Koenigsegg announces a new car, a new technology, or something like that, always goes through Geneva. You may see this stuff pop up in other auto shows, but Geneva is where it's at as far as large cars being announced. It's like where Shmi would go and go broadcast that new stuff is out and that you should be paying attention to it and why. So I'm a little bummed that I'm missing it, but just it's a little positive. Don't be afraid to go out. Like, I'm going to go to the Builder Show in New York on Tuesday because I want to, and I want to learn stuff, and I want to be, don't be petrified to touch doorknobs and go out and that you're going to get this virus. And if you do get it, it's the only people it apparently has killed, and with a sample size of just say 100,000 people, of those people that we know about that have it, it's like a cold. And yes, people have died, but people die of everything. More people die of the flu every year that we don't run around afraid of and petrified of, where there's no way to prevent getting the flu. Now you have another thing that's easily transmitted, and everyone's in a giant panic when the people that die are generally elderly or underlying health conditions. If you're one of those people, sure, stay at home, quarantine yourself. But to the rest of the world, the stock markets, everything shouldn't come to a grinding halt. That's just me. Remember, I'm not a doctor, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. So you guys are familiar with my other company, Adventure Drives, right? Well, this year we've got 2 trips coming up. One, which is starting in Seattle and ending in Jackson Hole in July. That's going up through the Canadian Rockies, coming down through Banff, Yellowstone, Glacier National Park, and Grand Teton National Park. It's going to be phenomenal. Also, we're going to be going to Scotland in October. We're going to be doing Scotch distilleries, playing golf at St. Andrews if you want to do that, walking around, seeing lakes, waterfalls, driving the North Coast. It's going to be an amazing trip. Prices start as low as $2,500 per person for the shorter trip in Scotland, about double that for the longer trip in July. If you're interested in going, check out the link in the description.